Hello.
Yo, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you there. What's going on, man? You well?
Yeah, very well, mate. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How's this lockdown treating you?
It's a weird experience as a whole, isn't it, man? But
Yeah, we're living in a movie, pal. We're living in a fucking movie.
I know it's something that I don't think anybody has ever seen or witnessed before, in it. So it's a strange time, but yeah, I just decided to get this podcast going as something to keep me busy, really. But it's yeah, been surprising how much response I've had to it. It's been really good. But how about you? Anyway, you just taking the time with the family and stuff like that.
Yeah, man. I was built for this shit. To be honest with you, I'm a bit of a homebody anyway. So, and I'm ginger. So the fact that it's sunny outside, I get to stay in and have a good excuse. So yeah, no, yeah, no, it's actually it's a bit crazy. Like for me, it's like I don't mind staying in most times because I'm not very sociable anyway. But it's the fact that I can't go out makes me kind of want to go out. It's a
Yeah.
bit of it's a bit of a strange one, to be honest with you. But and again, me and Tara were going to start a podcast, and then all this shit happened, so we haven't been able to, which is a bit shit as well. But yeah, no, you have a good idea of just starting this up. Um, and all the best with it as well. Seems to be a great idea for this podcast. So fair play to you.
No, thanks, man. I appreciate it, and I wasn't really expecting to get too many responses, but I the first episode I actually did was with Nugget, and as soon as that I released that, I think within 24 hours or so, I had about 40 people waiting to come on, so it was good. But
Well, yeah, no, I mean, the battle rap community are quite good in this regard. We all love talking about it and promoting it and sharing it and stuff like that. Like, so yeah, I think you could be onto a little winner here, pal. All the
yeah,
best with it.
fingers crossed. No, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. But jumping into the questions, then, REDZER, it's amazing to have you on the show. I'm a huge fan of yourself. Like,
Cheers.
there's not. I'll be completely honest. There's not many Irish musicians that I can say that I'm aware of, but Class A's is. I've been listening for a long time, and obviously I'm aware of your battles and stuff as well. Like, what was it that originally got you into battle rap from the beginning?
Well, cheers for listening to Class A's first of all. To be honest with you, again, I found obviously through YouTube the WRC battles and stuff like that and all. I became a huge Thesaurus and Ilmac fan from the jump. As soon as I seen it, I literally could not believe it was a thing. So went on it, and obviously I was a bit behind, so I basically just binged, like 1,000 battles, and then started finding out that just grind time is about and stuff like that, and also just from watching that, and then when I seen that the UK were doing it through Don't Flop, and then I started I was like, we could do that. The Irish lads could do this. Not me personally, but I was like, the Irish are like, we have an inherent wit, and we're just a naturally funny nation. So I was thinking that the Irish could do this quite well and compete at a decent level. So, and then obviously we didn't have any leagues for us to take part in that. So I'm not really sure how it came about with Don't Flock in it, because it's about 8 years ago. But I remember then saying, right, I'm going to set up a league. I kind of put the feelers out to get the battlers first, all behind scenes and stuff like that, to see who would be up for it. And don't get me wrong, there was loads of people that were up for it that was like, no, you're shit, you're not doing it. So I tried to pick as many decent people that I thought could represent Ireland as best as that we could. And then I think I'm not sure if I got on to or got on to me, and then he says, "Do you want to do it through Don't Flop?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, like these are a huge brand, and that would definitely help kickstart the Irish battle scene as well." So set up a small event in a recording studio, and as soon as the very first battle started, I was like, right, we're in this for the long haul now. I knew from the get go when people just started rapping their bars, I was like, yeah, I was right, we can do this shit, like so. Yeah, that's kind of how I got involved in it, and how kind of Irish hip hop has got involved in the battle scene.
No, great stuff, man. And like, from that moment to now, me personally, like, I think the Irish scene at the moment is, I think it's one of the most exciting scenes in the world, in the sense that, you know, they're just off the back of the Broken Resolutions 2 event, which was obviously massive, and there's so much up and coming talent in Ireland at the moment. Like, I'm a big fan of so many guys over there, and I think the reason that the Irish scene is so much more exciting than the UK scene right now is there's only one league. Rap is full of the one. If you're into battle rap and you're in Ireland, you know where to find it, so it's accessible. Whereas
Yeah.
over here, there's just 10 or 10, 15 leagues all doing the same thing, and it just doesn't work in the long run. But
well, for me, when you look at the UK, I mean, I think what's special about the Irish is, as I says, we have our own kind of inherent wit and kind of style that suits battle rap. Whereas when you watch the UK battle leagues, now obviously there's dope battlers across the UK, and obviously some of them are a lot levels up to the best Irish. But in general, I find like I haven't. I dipped out battling when I stopped doing it. I dipped out for a good amount of time, mostly to not be lured back into it. So I kind of gave it a wide berth, and I'd maybe watch the odd URL stuff. But yeah, when it comes to the UK, obviously there's like, I mean, I don't know most of what's going on in the UK, but the bits I have heard, it's like these are all the same. It's like literally everybody doing the exact same style, the exact same. Well, majority wise, I found that you're kind of watching it and it's all, you know, personally, me as a fan of comedy battle rap, that was my style. That's what I preferred to watch when, like, if I'm watching, if I'm going in to watch battles, I generally tend to go for people who are more about fun and laughing, and like the O'Shea's and stuff like that. Now, they're my kind of preferred MCs when it comes to battling. But there's not that many of them anymore in the UK. It's all about everyone trying to recreate what's going on in KOTD or in the URL scene. They're just going to replicate that into an English version of it, and it takes some of the sting. But as in, when you go to Ireland, when you start watching the Ireland battles, and you have your Hades and your Carl French that are showing up, and yeah, they're doing bars, but there's an Irishness about it that separates us from the rest of the world that I absolutely love. So I agree with you there. I think the Irish league is definitely, it's one of the most entertaining from the get-go, and that's including URL and KOTD at the minute. When you're watching the battles, it's just it's I think they're up there on entertainment wise, because again, our natural ability to make fun and to joke and to off the cuff kind of rebuttals and stuff like that and all are just, it's just very entertaining, I think. So the lads have that going. And again, what I love about it as well is that it kind of proved me right. Even if I couldn't really prove it with DFI, these guys are proving it through Rap is Full that we can compete with the best in the world.
no, I know. I think DFI definitely could have competed as well on that front. I mean, yourself, Nugget, Nash back in the day, I remember being a fan of, and you know, there was definitely some massive talent in DFI as well, man. But I mean, nowadays it seems that it's a bit more accessible in the sense that with the way that battle rap's progressed through YouTube and stuff like that as well. It's more accessible over there. The hip hop scene seems to be getting bigger over there as well, if I'm not mistaken. And like, just these guys that are coming through now, like your visuals, like your Scabman, the Scaldies, and like Johnny Darko is relatively new to battling as well. And just there's so many exciting talents coming through at the moment that it's been fun to see, man. But why was it that you wanted to step away from battling then? Was it just taking up too much of your time, or?
No, well, for a while I kind of wanted to stop everything, music and battling. My heart just kind of went in. It became kind of like a job. I was doing it just because I didn't want to say I was doing the music because I didn't want to let Tara down, because we'd so many kind of projects that started, like me and Tara, like he'd be on his album, they'd have to be doing features and that, and then we're doing another Class A mixtape. It was a 2 CD mixtape, and there was just a lot of commitments and that, so I didn't want to let people down on that front. And when it came to the battle, and it's like, if I don't do it or keep them going, it's kind of dead. So, and even a lot of people don't understand that when it comes to battling, I personally never wanted to be a battler.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping to. I mean, I understood I had to do it at the start to basically fill the cards in a bit until more quality and more quality and more options became available to me, which sadly kind of never really. We kind of just had like the odd person would pop up here and there, and so I kind of always had to battle, but I never ever really wanted to be a battler. Like I wanted to stop after the second or third battle I did, but I wasn't allowed. So, but I was doing it all kind of out of necessity, and then I got to the stage where we done an event. The last event I did, with the Don't Flop, when Don't Flop came over, and I mean, we had the event was cancelled. I did not the event, the venue. Sorry, the venue had cancelled on us like 2 days before the event was due to take place, and then there was a lot of running around to try and find another place, and then let everybody know who was coming. And then on the day, I was just a ball of fucking stress, to be honest with you. And then I made a balls of me battle then as well, and then I was just kind of, I was like, it's kind of not worth it, because the thing is, when you're putting in all that effort, that you have like battlers that kind of were shown to do the battle of that, like, but then if they didn't win the battle, they wouldn't promote the battle, So I'm running around trying to promote it for them on their behalf. Or there was like the community that Rap is Full has now is what DFI was lacking, whereas they're all seem to be on board and everyone's sharing everyone else's battles, and there's just a great kind of camaraderie between them all. Whereas in DFI we didn't really have that, and it basically just got a bit tiresome trying to having to do everything. Now don't get me wrong, that's not everybody. There was a lot of lads that were on, but look, I'm not. It's just saying it did become just way too much. And as you're saying, as I was still having to work on mixtape with the lads, and I had my own personal shit going on as well, so it was just the reward wasn't worth the work that I was putting in. So, and I'd done it for a long time like that, so I just got after that stage, and I was just like, I fucked up my own battle, because my head was twisted, and then not many people showed up, because now I got a lot of people onto me saying, we're at the academy, what's the story? But because I was in there, I couldn't get back to them after the event, and we lost that one. It was just kind of the one thing that kind of came to me, says, you know what, is it worth it? And I was like, I'll take a step away for a while with the potential to come back, but I enjoyed not having to do it, so it never came back.
That's fair enough, man. I can appreciate that. I can't imagine the amount of stress that goes into organising events at times, but like there was some great events that you guys did with DFI though, man. I remember that event where you battled Definition, and just every battle was fun to watch. Everybody's mentioning how, I can't remember which one, but one of the battlers thought they could fly to Ireland with a driving license and whatever.
That was Wilsey, I think, was supposed to try and fly over with. I think Definition actually said that to me in the battle.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, again, it was great fun. We always had a lot of fun doing them, and that's because I'm that way inclined when it comes to battle rap. It's like, I would rather have comedy over bars. But my thing with battling always was, if you want to hear me rap, I have songs for that. I'm here to clown you, so I'm not here to out rap you. For me, that's not what battling is about. I'm not here to out rap you. I'm here to clown you. I'm here to make everyone else laugh at you more than they can get you to laugh at me, so you can get to laugh at me, and then I'll win the battle. Not everyone agrees with that, but that's how I kind of approach battling, and that's kind of what I tried to make DFI be somewhat about, is more fun. And again, because we were only starting off, my kind of goal was, like, even in my battles, if you see my battles, I'm appealing to the Irish crowd, hoping that the English like it, but I always try to appeal to the Irish crowd, because they're the ones that are going to be coming to the events. They're not going to get 400 English people flying over to our events. So I was like, well, let's build a base. So that's how I was trying to. And then I was picking battlers and picking, battles that I was like, well, Belsky versus Soyo would be, great for the fans that are showing up on the day. So we'll book that battle, and then hope everyone who watches it online will enjoy it and maybe come to the next one. That was the kind of how I try to approach DFI. I prefer to have that's why I always had O'Shea over. Every time I was getting it in the UK lads over, O'Shea was number one on the list. Come over here, you people love you. They love that style. They showed up to watch that style. So yeah, I always wanted it to be as much fun as possible, even if I couldn't have fun, because I was hosting and battling and making sure the door was all right, and then letting sure people say, oh, he can't get in. Can if my friend doesn't get in, I'm not doing the battle. I did all of that shit as well during the day. So, but I tried to make it as fun for everybody, and then hope that it resonated for people that were watching online. That's kind of what the plan for DFI. Again, it probably fell to the detriment of DFI. I probably could have picked more technical guys. I started looking for more technical guys, but I just, because we were the first, we were winging a lot of it. That sort of way. It was all kind of, we didn't know what we were doing. We were literally just winging every event, hoping, and I was just trying to do it here. Well, this is what I would like to see, and based off that. So whether it worked or not, I don't know, but I think we've done okay. But Rapid Fall is kind of leveled up from DFI, which is amazing to see. That's what we need. We don't need them to come in and try to compete with DFI, surpass it, which they have, and just move on from there. And then if another battle league does appear from Ireland, it better be leveling up from Rapid Fall, or else don't fucking bother. Like,
yeah, no, I see exactly what you mean. And in terms of like your strategy, in terms of who you were booking for DFI, like people like O'Shea, it's just, it doesn't matter what narrative you're trying to pull with your event. O'Shea is a safe bet every time. Do you know what I mean? He's
a god, absolute god.
Yeah, exactly.
And lovely fella in general. So easy to work with, no kind of airs and graces about him and stuff like that. And also big up O'Shea to this day. Like he's just one of the good ones, that way. But even innuendo, so like every English guy that I had over have been, completely bang on, that sort of way. So it was like, and again, we had, like, I did have a couple of the American guys wanting to come over, but I wasn't hemorrhaging money to bring them over.
No,
because at that stage of the game, and even till this day now, because battle rap isn't as big in Ireland as it is in the UK and America, wherever like that, like, you're going to be paying a couple of grand to get these guys over, and you'll probably get the same amount of views as Nugget versus O'Shea would anyway, because nobody knows over here that guy, and you know what I mean. So I didn't feel like it was worth paying thousands of quid that we didn't have. It would have ended up coming out of my own pocket, and fuck that. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, so we basically, every event that we did was money that we made from the last one goes into the next one. The money made from that last one that we start buying the cameras and to try and compete with the likes of Don't Flops, how clear there and the sound was and stuff like that. We started trying to compete on that level to make it look as professional as possible. So I wasn't wasting any money on bringing American guys over at that stage.
No, I appreciate that, man. And I personally feel like that's where the UK scene has gone wrong at points. Obviously, I don't know how aware you are of the Apex event that Premier Battles threw last year, but there's
loads of pullouts in that as well, wasn't there? And stuff. The American guys. Yeah, that's what I mean. So there's that risk as well. So it's like, I mean, if I bring O'Shea over and he can't make it on 70 quid on an airplane, it's grand. You can just write that off. But if you're bringing an American over and they don't show up and you have to spend all that money for flights and stuff like that and all, you can't afford that risk.
No.
Now maybe they could. I don't Premier Battles. I don't know. Maybe they could afford it, but it's like, yeah, I wouldn't like. And there's always a question like, who are you doing that for? Is that more just to make you look like you're a better battle league than you were, or is it because you genuinely feel you're at that level as well? There's a bit of that. When I'm looking at it, I was like, why? You have more than enough people that in the UK that could fill that card, that you don't necessarily need to be spending all that money on these people to come over or not. And again, your views they'll be similar. The views that like I said, if you look at even the Rapid Fall guys, like when Real Deal come over and battled Soyo, that's quite a low view. Now, Real Deal is a GOAT, don't get me wrong. I'm a big fan of Real Deal, big fan of Soyo as well. Me as a battle fan love to watch that battle. But outside of the group of the small community in Ireland or wherever, nobody's going to watch that. So it's not worth bringing those people over, spending that money when you're not going to get it in returns in views or attendance or, you know. So it's little things like that. So I think the Premier League Battle League, kind of, there's a little bit of pretentiousness with it as well. I personally, I may be wrong. This is just from the outside looking in. That's what it kind of seems like. It's like, don't do it. Don't be getting all these Americans over unless they're an absolute cert and it's going to make it worthwhile. You know, I mean, I think that was where DC was supposed to battle Tony D, wasn't it?
That's it. That's the one. Yeah.
Like, I would love to see that battle, but you'd be better off bringing Tony over to America to do that, because it would happen then. There's less risk of it not happening then. But they're, you know, the American rappers, they don't seem to have the same. It seems to be an attitude thing with a lot of them. You know, they just shrug it off the fuck it, like, I don't care. Whereas it's a big deal to the guys in England, but it's not to them. So you'd need to be nearly sending the Irish lads over to America or the English lads over to America to make the battle, to guarantee the battle's going to happen.
No, I agree, and I think the reason behind it was, like, with Premier Battles, they'd done exactly what I think the scene needed, in that they invested a lot of money in the first year that they were running into British talent, which was great to see. But they wanted to. Obviously, it's Shotty Horror's league as well. He wanted to come back for a battle, but wanted a big name, which I can appreciate. And
that's understandable. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Shotty Horror's not going to battle me. He's going to battle the biggest name that he can get, because he will get them. You know, that way. So, I mean, that's understandable. But to have loads of other lads fly over to battle your mates is a bit. That's when it goes a bit askew, I think.
Yeah, and I think the narrative of the event was just to throw a real super event, in the sense that Tony D hadn't battled for a few years by that point. It was bringing him back, and like, I think they just wanted to get a bit of attention over in the States as well, because I know long term they plan to go over and do events over there. So getting eyes on it beforehand kind of.
But my approach to that was slowly catch your monkey. It's like, you don't start off in your first year and now all of a sudden you're in America. It's like, build the base up first. Make people want to watch it. You know, that sort of way. Because a lot of people, once the Don't Flop thing all went tits up for whatever reason. But when that happened, there was a bit of a gap. So it was like, you have a gap there to come in here and just kind of basically just fuck on loads of events and people will show up to the battles. But when you're kind of blowing all your whole load on one big event, so that it makes it look like you are the top now, and it's a bit. I wouldn't have done it if I was running a league over there. I'd be like, well, look, let's utilize this and just do like maybe an event every month and a half, because the amount of people they have over in the UK that are top quality MCs, you could literally do that, and then by the time the next year comes up, you can comfortably get the Americans over and then fly your friends over to America and stuff. You know, it's the slowly catch your monkey is probably the best. For me, it's the best approach when it comes to this, because it's sustainability. You know what I mean? You're building a fan base that when shit goes wrong, they have your back because they appreciate it. But if they kind of, you're throwing all your bleeding ducks into one, all your eggs into one basket, and then it blows up in your face, people will just walk away and go to the other 15 leagues that they have to choose from in the UK. Like,
no, it's true. I do see what you mean, man. Definitely, and it is a massive shame, but fortunately, you know, they did pull off an incredible event. Regardless, you know, I spoke to Briggsy the other day, and he openly admitted that they lost upwards of 10 grand on that event, which is absolutely mental. But yeah, they still managed to pull it off and fill out a massive venue. So fair play to him for the work rate.
Oh yeah, no. Again, everything I say is not a criticism or anything. Like, fair play to anybody who is involved in battle rap, from cameramen to battlers to fucking promoters to hosts. It's not. You know, I support everybody, even if I'm not watching our PPV. I could commend everybody for getting involved and doing it. Like, I'm just basically just talking about this is what I would do in these situations, and I could be wrong.
Of course.
You know, I'm not basically saying I know everything. I'm just, these are my opinions. Just a little disclaimer there in case people start listening.
Absolutely, but like, in terms of your personal battles, then, so there's a few to pick from, but if you had to pick your favourite battle that you've been a part of, what would it be?
Pamphlet, 100%.
Yeah,
Oh, I loved it. I loved everything he had to say about me. And that's what, when I'm doing battles, again, because I never cared about winning or losing, and I never did, and because I didn't want to be a battler, I just kind of, because every battle was my last battle, I was going to just start hosting and promoting but then I had to do that. So I never really cared about winning. But I had a fascination of what people were going to say about me, like a morbid curiosity, if you will, of what, like, I enjoyed people slagging me. So, but Pamphlet, I think, done it. He just had so many quotables that to this day I'll be walking around just in the, making a sandwich, and then in my head, like, you're so what, fat and red, you look like Santa's head. Little things like that. It kind of, you know what I mean? Them sort of bars that and Pamphlet's such a safe guy as well. So, yeah, Pamphlet was definitely my favourite battle that I've ever done. Shout out to Pamphlet.
See, I don't know if I was expecting you to say that. For me, it's my personal favourite, actually, because I'm a fan of yourself. I'm a fan of Pamphlet, and it was amazing. I was expecting you to go with the either the Chronicle or the Nugget battle, if I'm honest. But no, Pamphlet is.
I lost the Nugget battle, so that couldn't be my favourite. I got the win, but he beat me. I think, again, it was the first event. People were kind of just, I don't know why they voted for me. Maybe because I was a bit of an arsehole in the very last round that edged it. But Nugget should have won in the 3. Again, I don't think neither he or me care about that. It was a great battle. We both had a bit of crack. We were both mates at the time, so it is what it is. But it wasn't my favourite battle. And the Chronicle one, don't get me wrong, the Chronicle one is such a funny situation because, like, I only found out when the video went up it was a grudge match. So I even gone to Or's like, where was the grudge? Like, and he's like, oh yeah, like, Chronicle fucking hates you. And I was like, oh really? I had no idea. Had I known it was a grudge match, I wouldn't have showed up with 400 horsehead jokes. Because it was the Chronicle thing. But again, the Chronicle battle wasn't really that fun. I put very, very little effort into it. I had no structure to it at all. I had literally just written down 400 horsehead jokes.
Mate, I thought
just picked him out of the head as I mean, you can even hear, if you watch the battle, you can hear me going, oh, what's it? Because I'm just basically plucking horse jokes out of my head that I'd written and just flinging them at him left, right, and centre. The one thing that annoys me the most about the Chronicle battle, I have to say, and it haunts me to this day, is that I caught him so well when I says to him, and why are you telling people you got signed to a label? The camera didn't show it, but he was like, what? No, I didn't. What? He bit so hard on that. And I was like, oh, sorry, you said you write rhymes in the stable. Like, I just wish that whoever was on the camera had caught his reaction to that, because it was such a sweet moment for me. That's probably my favourite moment in battle rap that I've done. Just that, like, it was one of those, like, even if it doesn't work out well, it's still a decent little bar and they'll get a chuckle. But if he bites, it's just going to work so well. And he bit, but the camera didn't catch it, and it kind of upset me a little bit. It was definitely my favourite part, because as soon as I seen him do it with my eyebrows raised, I was like, ha, you write rhymes in this stable. But yeah, so I mean, it's hard, but for me, just the Pamphlet battle, because I done quite well in the battle, and he was amazing. He was as good as I thought he would be. I know I got a bit of shit over. Like, I get a bit of shit over my style of basically one subject for 3 rounds. But again, a lot of that has to do, there's a couple of factors as to why I had that approach. One was, I didn't really care, to be honest with you. The second reason is, when I got a battle locked in, I wrote the 3 rounds in the weekend that it was announced. So, like, a lot of people put like a couple of weeks into writing. Every battle I've done, I wrote in a weekend. Like, so if I get the battle confirmed on Wednesday, I'd sit down on Friday, and by Monday I had to be 3 rounds polished. But which led into the, like say a battle in Pamphlet and our Chronicle. Like, when I was battling Chronicle, I didn't really know a lot about him. That's why I was always surprised with the grudge match. I didn't really know a lot about the guy. But I read a comment where somebody says, oh, he hates when people say he looks like a horse. And that stuck with me. So I was like, right, I'll write one good you look like a horse bar. So I did, and I was like, oh, I have another one. And then I literally just wrote down a load of horsehead jokes, and I was like, oh. And then when it came same a pamphlet, like he's not gay, but he hates being called gay. So naturally, I'm going to call him gay. I'll come up with a zinger for it. But from thinking of punchlines for about being gay, I was literally just coming up with hundreds of them. So I was just throw them all together, and there's me 3 rounds easy, and now I can focus on making sure everyone flies over and everyone shows up, and like it was. The bars part of it was never really my priority. I don't want to show people that I'm the best, or I don't care. Like I'm not even top 5 in Ireland when it comes to battling. So yeah, it was. But that's the thing. So that was my approach when I was coming. And again, but people do have to realize, because I've got a bit of stick over using that. But my response to people that have said it is like, do you know how hard it is to come out with one zinger on a certain subject? So try do fucking 3 rounds of it. It's quite hard. So a lot of people didn't appreciate it, but there is a skill involved in it.
No, I see what you mean, man. And like, that's kind of why I thought I expected you to say Chronicle would be your favourite, in the sense that obviously, like you said, with him reacting to the bar about being signed to a record label so much, I didn't realise that it doesn't come up on camera, as you said, but like, you can tell from his performance that you proper rattled his cage, and
he was so annoyed
to clown him the whole battle. I thought it was hilarious anyway. But
yeah, he was so annoyed. He was so funny. And then as well, like I think it got the crowd on my side, because that's why I say about going about the comedy approach. When somebody is so angry and sitting there like, oh, your mom has cancer, I'm fucking glad. When people are doing that, and then I'm just sitting here going, here, look, you look like Shergar. The crowd got behind me, even though I don't think like when I went over to the England, especially after the MC Dove thing, a lot of people didn't like me from the get-go, but I think I won them over in that battle alone just by saying, look, I'm just having a laugh here, like I'm just, and so there's a good contrast that when he's kind of going, oh, shouting in my face and getting really amped up about it, and I'm just sitting there flinging jokes at him, I think it kind of warms you to the crowd as well.
No, definitely, man. I completely agree. And you've been involved in a lot of battles that I'm a huge fan of. Like I do really like the Definition battle as well, and the Nugget battle. How did the Tricky P battle come about for you then?
Oh, that was just because we're both ginger.
Fair.
Literally, yeah, it's literally it. I mean, I think Orga onto me saying, we're doing a battle of the Blood in the Water, and will you battle Tricky P? Because he's both ginger. We'll have it as a ginger. I think it was a ginger grudge match. So I think of 3 battles that are grudge matches that weren't actually grudge matches. But yeah, so that it was literally as simple as that. And then I was obviously Tricky P is a dope battler, so, and an international. So I was like, oh, of course I'll take that. Like, and but again, like I think he slaughtered me. I kind of, again, I approached that battle for the Irish people to like me, rather than showing them, well, look, it's in the UK. Go over there and try and get the UK. I should have probably put more effort into that battle, especially since it was an international. And I think I dropped the ball on the Tricky P battle. And again, because it was kind of classed as a ginger versus ginger, I had a round of ginger jokes, but I dropped that idea because I was like, it's what people expect, and I don't want to, show up and be forced into the national battle and just do what everyone expects of me. I'll go at them for being Canadian. I'll do what the people want to do, and I never felt comfortable. From what I had written when I was going over and stuff like that, I was kind of like, if I had another couple of days, I'd actually rewrite this whole fucking 3 rounds, like. But
Right.
But yeah, it was cool to do. I mean, Tricky P was a good guy, and his 3rd round was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
And that's when you're standing there watching, you go, there's levels to this, like, But he cares about winning more than I do as well. So it's like there is levels. But I don't think I shamed myself. I think every single battle I've ever done, I think I've lost most of them, but I've never disgraced myself. So that was kind of our DFI, and that was the goal, was to kind of promote DFI. Every battle I did was like, look, I may not have won this battle, but I run a league, come check it out. Google me, you'll find the league. And it was all promotion for DFI. That's every battle I did was promotion for DFI as opposed to promoting myself. Never wanted to be the best battle rapper in the world or the country or in the league or wherever. That was never the goal.
That's fair enough, man. And I mean, it's you very rarely see any promoters battle at events that they're putting on. So in that sense, you did almost every single DFI event, and hats off to you, because there's no bad performances in there, man, and it's always been fun to watch. So
yeah, I can't say there's a reason that they don't. It's so fucking stressful. And when you're sitting there watching every battle I walk around and in their head they're going, so they're going over their bars and you're standing there hosting, and then when you get 5 minutes, you kind of go, right, I'll go over and I'll go me bars in my head, and then you get a call from the barman saying, oh, look, this is happening, he's too drunk. There's a reason why and Organic and whatever don't, because they clearly can, but there's a reason that they don't. It's because it's so fucking stressful. I kind of had to do it out of necessity more than I want. But, I genuinely would not recommend it to anybody. I mean, that's what happened with the definition thing as well. If you watch the definition, my tour ground, I died a fucking death because it just couldn't. My head was warped. It was the last battle on, where all the shit that had gone on previously, and then the crowd was there, but it wasn't. And then the venue we picked wasn't the best because you could hear upstairs, and Ireland versus England was on. So, that was all going on as well. So, it was just like, I wouldn't recommend doing that for anybody. It's so fucking stressful doing it. Like, but I had my tour verse against Def was the best of my rounds, but I completely forgot it. I freestyled like 70% of that round. Like,
right, okay, no, hats off to you, man, because I can't even imagine how stressful it must be organising every last detail, and especially battling last on the event as well. If you were able to get your battle out of the way first, I guess it'd be a lot easier. But
I started to do that. I did start to do that then, because I kind of copped it, and I was like, right, I'm just going to go first from now on, just to get it out of the way. And then, but because Or was over, it was a don't flop event. Or was saying to me, no, you're the main headline, you go on last. So I was like, okay. But I was even hosting all the other battles, so I couldn't go off and practice my bars because I was co-hosting with Or. So the one time it kind of got the last, and I could, I basically I couldn't work it out. But I started doing that then. I copped it pretty early on. That I was like, right, if I just go first, it's it'll get rid of all that shit. And they were some of my better performances. Like the pamphlet battle I went first on, and it was flawless. So
definitely, no, man, I see what you mean. And is there, with Rap is Full at the moment, like obviously they're going from strength to strength. There's a lot of eyes on them at the moment. I think it's kind of, and I think that there's really big things to come from the scene over there. Is there any desire to get back in the ring? Because I know it's being part of the Irish forums, like your name's mentioned a lot. Would you ever come back for a battle, do you think?
I've been asked this question a million times. It would take probably disaster, because I kind of regret not taking that battle when it was forced. Brought to when disaster basically went on Twitter saying, look, I want to come over and battle REDZER. I kind of should have jumped on that, and I didn't. So I kind of regret not battling disaster. So if I was to ever come back, I think maybe Diz would be the only one that could bring me back.
Okay.
But again, I'm not sure if that would ever happen. And even if it did, again, I'm not sure that it'd be an absolute yes for me as well. So it's why I kind of try not to watch that much battle rap anymore, because sometimes you're watching it and then all of a sudden you start thinking the punchlines in your head. You know what I mean? You're kind of like, so just to remove the temptation, to kind of swayed away from battle rap as a whole. Like I do dip in and watch the Rap is Full more often than any other league.
No,
But
sure.
again, a lot like when I seen because remember you saying at the terminal when the Broken Resolutions 2, when I seen that card, surely it may have made me want to be a part of it. But I was actually offered a battle. I was offered to battle Marv 1 at that.
Oh, that would have been so good as well.
Yeah, but I mean, like don't get me wrong, Marv 1 is again, he's a go. He's very likable, and obviously it's comedy versus comedy. It would have been a really good battle, but I kind of had no interest in it whatsoever. And that
Right.
kind of tells me a lot that I think I am done with it. But like you never say never, that sort of way. Because I said I wasn't going to rap anymore, and I've done about 4 features since then as well. So, and I've 2 to go on to Terra's new album. So, now I'd never say never, but it would take something huge to and a few quid as well. I'm not going to throw that in as well to come back and actually do it. And if I did, it probably would have to be something like Disaster,
No,
because I
I
think,
appreciate that.
yeah, I think me coming back and doing a battle against Disaster would be great for Rap is Full. So there's a bit of that involved. That I really want these guys to succeed, and they're doing excellent. So there is a bit of like, but then I tell myself, well, I've done enough Irish battle rap, so if I don't do it, I shouldn't feel guilty about it either. But yeah, it's
Oh,
a tough one.
absolutely no.
Yeah, it is a tough one. Like, I mean, I try not to think about it that often, but when I do get, watching battles and stuff like that, sometimes I do. Yeah, do you know what? I could still do this. I still have one good battle left in me. But then, like, reality kicks in and they go, you know what? Nah, fuck it. It's But again, I don't think broken Rap is Full needs me either. I mean, as you were saying, there's such a good array of battlers, from people that are established to people that are coming up, that I'd probably be somewhat of an asset, but if I never did it, it wouldn't affect them, that way. So there's that also helps me not have the battle anymore as well.
No, I can definitely see what you mean, and I mean, from a fan standpoint, there was a couple of battles that I just would have loved to have seen you do. I mean, you versus O'Shea makes a lot of sense to me, and I'm surprised that never happened. And I mean,
Do you know why the O'Shea battle with me never happened? And it's so silly, but this is kind of when you're in the promoter stage of things. There was a lot of people that were kind of suggesting that I'm picking the best for myself,
right,
that way. Whereas I wasn't. It was just that the better battlers wanted to battle me, as opposed to me going, I'm going to battle you next. I'm going to battle you next. I didn't pick definition, and the reason I battled Pamphlet was because I was supposed to battle Pamphlet over in the UK, but when I got to London, I think what happened was I lost my passport, so I had to book the boat over 2 days beforehand. So I booked the boat over, went over on my own. It was like 4 hours on the boat, like 3 hours on the train. Got to London, and there was like a fucking public service strike, so I had no way of getting to the venue then. And so I was actually in London for that battle, but I just couldn't make it to the event. So I had to literally just turn around and go back home. Which sucked. So I owed Pamphlet that battle. But even that card, he Nugget battled O'Shea. So I was trying not to make it look like it was all for my own glory sort of thing. Whereas I should have battled O'Shea, while I was doing it. That everyone wanted to see it, and
yeah,
I was being stupid in that regard, saying, no, if I battle O'Shea, I'm just going to have to listen to people go, oh, you're only picking the best. So I kind of was like, and again, because at that time I was thought, well, I will battle him, the way. But then when I stopped, it was like I probably stopped a bit too early not to do that battle. But again, it's a battle that gets mentioned to me probably more than any other battle, is that you should have battled O'Shea, and I should have battled O'Shea, and it's sad that I never did. Like.
yeah, no, definitely, man. And I don't know why I always wanted to see you and Ilmac battle as well. I mean, I know Ilmac would really like to get to Ireland as well, but I don't think there's many opponents that interest him. And I
Well,
always thought you two would make sense.
I think Ilmac is like, it'd be a bit of a mismatch on his behalf, because obviously he's so good. I'm not sure if, I mean, don't get me wrong, Ilmac is one of my favourite battlers of all time. As I started off watching him from the WRC, is like And I still watch his battle. Like if Ilmac battle gets put up on, I'll watch it. You know, but I don't think stylistically it would match. Because he'd be so like with the Harry Hanso blade, and he'd just be doing all this like amazing warplay, and I'd be just sitting there going, man, you could sit on a curb and swing your legs, you know, that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it would. You know, he would win the battle quite easily, sort of thing. But it'd be a decent battle, but he would win quite easily. Whereas Disaster, I mean, if I was to battle Disaster again, I think Disaster would win the battle, but it would be, I think I would be the best person from Ireland to battle him, because you know, it would be, you know, like the Chronicle versus me style, him kind of going to me face and shouting real angry, and then I'm just flinging jokes at him. I think that style would match up a little bit better than the anger versus the kind of laid back. Whereas Ilmac is quite laid back when he's doing it anyway. He would just bar the fuck out of me, and I could just sit there flinging short jokes at him. And
no, I see what you mean.
You know, it would be it'd be a 3-0 to Ilmac. Like, I mean, Disaster might 3-0 me, but it would be a better performance from me, I think. It'd be better battle me and Disaster would be than any of the Americans, I think.
Yeah, Disaster does not react well to being clowned on either, so I definitely see what you mean in that sense. And yeah, I mean, just as a fan, you know, I know I'm speaking for a lot of people, but would love to see just one more battle from you. I think, man, it'd be amazing to see. But obviously, if you're, you know, I know you're busy and stuff. I know you've got a family and all that kind of stuff. So I do appreciate that as well. But in terms of the music, so you said you've been doing a couple of features again recently. I saw a little kind of like teaser or trailer that Raptor put up the other day.
That track is out now.
It is out now.
No, did they release that track? Yeah, they released.
Okay.
Yeah. But again, that wasn't for a love of getting back into rap music. That was like, me and Raptor have known each other for so long through this music. Like, I mean, we did the DFI mixtape track, but I never done a project, you know, verse on one of his projects, or he never done that on a Class A project. So that was kind of overdue. So when he got on to me, I was like, you know what, we should have done a track before. So yeah, I'll jump on this track for you. Like, but again, it wasn't that I have a desire to get back into making music. It was like it was like a loose end kind of situation, as opposed to like a want to do it. Like, I mean, my verse wasn't that great on it, to be honest with you. Like, it was you know, it was, you know, it was decent-ish, but kind of even here in the back, I was like, oh yeah, man, I'm kind of done with this. Like, I don't have to. No, I'm saying that I'm not a great rapper either. Like, let's go. I mean, in the Class A's, I was definitely the worst in Class A's, and every track I've done with Terror, I think of the like 900 tracks I did with Terror, I think I got them on one track. So again, I'm not a great rapper either. So I don't think it's a huge loss to anybody if I don't go back and start making music.
Oh, I don't know. I disagree, man. I love everything about Class A's, and I think it's, as a collective, you bounce off each other really well, and I think it's always worked. It's not a case of who's better than who. It's just I thoroughly enjoyed all of it. Like, for example, so obviously there was a couple of mixtapes and stuff first that I got to later, to be honest. I discovered Class A's through the 2013 album.
Yeah.
And then I'd actually not heard your album, so the Dub Life album either at that point, or any of Terrorist stuff. So I kind of went back and discovered that later. But I love pretty much every project that both of you have ever done, man. So I disagree with you on that front. I'm a big fan, but
well, no, like, I mean, don't get me wrong, we made some dope tracks, but it wasn't because of me. It was like I mean, now again, in my defense, right, the lads in Class A's were the best rappers in the country. I mean, Terrorist is the best rapper in the country. It's not up for debate. Like, I mean, I get a lot of people have their favorite rappers, and I get that. But when it comes to being the best rapper in the country, it's Terrorist by a country mile. Like, you put him on any style of beat, any style of, if put him on a feature with your favorite artist, and you either beat him or do as good a job. You know, he's so versatile, just so good. So when you're sitting there every day rapping with this fucker who's just naturally amazing, it makes you look shitter than you probably are as well. So that didn't help me. But and again, same with New Sense and Rosso, two of the best rappers out at the time when Class A was in full swing. And the guy was literally rapping with three of the best rappers in the country. So it made me look a bit shitter than I probably am as well, which didn't help. Like,
No, I do see where you're coming from, and Terrorist is incredible as well. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, I mean, it like I said, even your solo stuff, man, I really enjoyed personally. But there's in terms of like shows and stuff that you've done with Class A's or solo or anything like that, like who would you say is the biggest artist that you've either supported or done shows with? Like, was there any standout moments you down the years?
Well, supporting D12 was pretty dope. Because I'm a huge Royce the 5'9" fan, and we got to kick it with Royce the 5'9" backstage as well.
Amazing.
So that's probably the best moment for me. I mean, I don't know if you ever heard my song on Back, the Class A's track that I called them Back.
Yeah.
But basically that track was like, I wrote that because it was back from writer's block. And what got me through writer's block was listening to Royce the 5'9", and you can kind of tell with some of the choppity flow that I was doing, that was heavily influenced by Royce the 5'9", because I went through an absolute blank stage for a good month. And for someone who had literally, like, I mean, the way me and Class A's operated was we were doing 3 or 4 tracks a day. So you're sitting there and you're writing a verse. Every verse was written in 20 minutes. That sort of way. So
that's mad.
So going from that to not being able to think of a forced line to even start a verse, was just like, I basically thought, that's it, I'm done. And then just listen to a bit of Royce the 5'9". I think it was Gun Harmonizing. I was listening to that on repeat. It's my favourite Royce track. I just love it. And hence the brapping bit in the track. So from listening to that, and then I kind of started writing them back, and then it was so. But basically, so supporting D12 was probably the best experience, because we got to kick it with D12 backstage as well. You know what I mean? They were all so cool, except for Bizarre. He was a dickhead. But the rest of the guys were so sound, and like, that was a moment where you're like, I remember this now forever, because these are Eminem's group, and I'm standing here kicking it, which is, and you're talking to me, and you just told me that you just watched the set and you just liked it, the way. So that sort of, like, I mean, we done Necro, and that was cool as well, because again, big fans of Necro at the time. Some of the non-fiction beats and stuff that were coming out were just, like, Necro was just dope. And we did do a few support acts, but we never really. We probably should have done more, but we never put in for them, because it wasn't the goal that when, say, Wu-Tang were coming over, that we got onto the promoter and said, oh yeah, look, pick us, we're the biggest in the country, blah blah. There was none of that. We just kind of if they got onto us, we'll do it. If they don't, it is what it is. Like, that way. So we probably could have done more, but I definitely think D12 was probably the best support gig that we done.
Yeah, I can understand that. And like, and I don't know if you've seen, but Math Hoffa has recently started kind of like a podcast where he does interviews with people in like a barber shop.
The expert opinion.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's had Royce the 5'9" on that and stuff, and he's also had Bizarre on there. And I've never paid much attention to Bizarre. I've never considered Bizarre to particularly be a rapper, if I'm honest with you. But he just kind of ad-libs, and that's about it, in my opinion. But he comes across like an absolute dickhead in that as well.
I told him he was. I actually told him he was a dickhead. Because what happened was, when we were on the stage doing our thing, there was a guy in the crowd that had a flag it was a D12 flag, and he had it signed by Eminem and Proof from when Eminem had come over in Slane. Right. So he basically says, any chance you can get the rest of the lads to sign this for us? So we brought it backstage, and it was me or Terror, I can't remember, went up to Conniva and says, look, we have a guy outside, he wants us all to sign this, but he has proof on it. And Conniva was like, he has proof? All right, where's the pen? So we didn't have a pen, because he never gave us a pen. So Conniva actually went out of his way to go and find a pen, came back, signed it, Swifty signed it. And then when I got to Bizarre, handed it to him. I was like, look at, said to him. He basically took it, he didn't look me in the eye, took it, scribbled a B and a line, and then kind of flung it back at me. So I was like, I don't know why you're so cocky. You're the shittest in the group. You're shy. And turned around and walked off. Like, I don't even know if he looked at me, and he probably still ignored me, but it just pissed me off. And a lot of people will tell you that I don't hold back. I'm quite opinionated, and I'll say what I feel like. So so I kind of said that to him and kind of just walked off and gave the kid back his flag. But yeah, that like, I was like, man, you're like, I could understand it, but it was like, someone like Royce the 5'9". I mean, he gave me a whiskey when I went in. I said to Royce, I was like, look at, man, huge fan of yours. You've no idea, blah 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 blah. He didn't say anything to me. He just poured a glass of whiskey and handed it to me. So I sat there drinking whiskey with Royce the 5'9" for about 5 minutes. No words, because he was in his alcoholic stage at the time anyway. So he kind of had an excuse to being a bit standoffish or whatever. That he was probably locked. But he just poured me a glass, and I just sat there beside him and drank the whiskey, handed it back to him, thanked him, and then went about my day. So that was again, these guys are all really sound, and then Bizarre was just an absolute cockhead, and like, man, you're not even, you haven't earned the right to be this bleeding big-headed and egotistical, the sort of way.
No, I've always seen Bizarre as like a Bez from the Happy Mondays type figure. Like he just happens to be friends with them, kind of thing.
Exactly. He's the version Skip. Like you skip past when you're listen to Devil's Night or whatever. That like he's very few times where he's actually like he's like, basically I'm the Bizarre of Class A's, so I can't be too fucking harsh as well. But he just got lucky with who his friends were, as opposed to so he should have been the most humble out of everybody else, and he was just an absolute prick.
Yeah, no, he comes across like that in the my expert opinion thing as well. But he's weird guy, but amazing that you got to perform with D12, man, and especially just getting to meet Royce and stuff. That's incredible. But like with because I can't imagine the like hip hop scene in Ireland is huge anyway to that extent. Like I can't imagine you get a huge amount of gig opportunities, well, to see massive artists anyway. But like, what would you say is the best live act that you've ever seen?
Well, I went to see Nas and Damian Marley.
Oh, nice.
That was dope. We had 16-year-old Mav Saber was with us. No, he wasn't 16. We basically, poor Mav was like 22 years old, and we were still referring to him as a 16-year-old because he was just, when Maverick Saber came up, he was quite like kiddish, and we just always seen him. We always seen him then as a kid, but he was there with us now. Like, it was great. It was just one of those that was just a good night. Loads of banter with us, and getting to watch the lad like Nas and Damian Marley, who, like, again, huge fan of Nas. Didn't know too much about Damian Marley at the time, but had heard the As We Enter, and I was like, right, yeah, he's dope as well. And then when you watch it all live, it was just like probably the best gig I've ever been to. Now, I didn't go to a lot of gigs as well. I was one of those people that I'd rather perform than go and watch other people perform. So I never really bothered with gigs too much. But the ones I have gone to, that's definitely probably the best gig I've been to.
No, that's amazing, man. I'm jealous. I would have loved to have seen them perform together, and it doesn't look like I don't think they particularly get on anymore. I think they've had a bit of a falling out, so I don't know if they're going to be releasing music together again, unfortunately. So I've missed my chance there, but I can imagine that was incredible to see. But like, apart from that, have you done many shows outside of Ireland? Like, have you got the opportunity to travel and do shows at all?
Yeah, we done London a couple of times. We done a gig in Edinburgh, which was one of the most fun gigs we've probably ever done that I can remember, because there was a lot of drink and Class A's being taken that day, so I can't really remember a lot about it, but I remember enjoying it. So but yeah, no, we did. We had a decent. We were getting offered the gigs. Like, Terror and the lads went over to Boston and done a gig.
Yeah.
With Slane, I think it was. So yeah, we just we were offered a lot of gigs, but a lot of time it didn't suit as well. Like, we were asked to do a gig in Holland, there was some shop over there that was constantly playing our music, a smoke shop over there, and they got onto us, but I can't remember, something happened that we couldn't do it. But yeah, no, we did London a couple of times and Edinburgh. But yeah, that was kind of it. But the London gig, in fairness, I think we had more people show up to the London gig than we ever had in Ireland, which that was bizarre. Like, there was a lot of, about 200 people showed up to watch that gig, which is crazy.
Yeah, do you know what? It doesn't really surprise me because I know of quite a few people who, like, I don't have any kind of friends that are into hip hop or anything anywhere near as much as I am. Like, but I go to a fair few amount of gigs and like I've become friends with people from like going to, say, high focus birthday events and things like that. And most people seem to be like a fan of Class A's as well. So there's definitely a following and a fan base over here too. But
I mean, I think we had more fans outside of Ireland than inside of Ireland.
Yeah,
which is a bit strange. Because I mean, I think as well it's a stylistic thing, because like the thing about Class A's is we didn't want to put ourselves into a box ever. So we always wanted to make an album that you don't know what the next track is going to be. So we didn't want to kind of just do all street shit, or you know what I mean, because we'd done that. So I was like, right, let's move on. We making tracks on reggae beats. We were making tracks on, you know what I mean, like using just different producers that had kind of quirky sounds and stuff. We always tried to challenge ourselves to you know, basically try and cover every single genre and not just do, you know, bog standard boom bap hip hop or, you know, street hip hop. We basically just wanted to make music was the goal for Class A's. Like, so I think that resonated more outside Ireland than inside of Ireland. So we had because we did a lot of different kind of style or flavors that were different. We opened up to a bigger, a broader fan base than most people. Because I mean, if you think about it, we've accumulated like a couple of million views from being in Ireland, which is, you know, from, you know, and way back when, which is kind of crazy when you think about it, like in hindsight.
definitely. Yeah, it's been fun to watch, man. But like, is there, as a whole, I'd say the UK are a bit like, I wouldn't say the UK follow the Irish rap scene particularly well. Like, for myself, there's a couple of people that I am a big fan of. You know, obviously Johnny Darko falls under that category. Like, he's incredible.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Nuisance as well, like his solo stuff. And then I recently checked out Nuisance. Is it Nuisance and Raw Soul did like
Oh
a
yeah,
duo
hot
project?
property. Hot
That's it.
property. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Kelly. I'm you know, I'm aware of. I've not checked out a massive amount of his stuff, but
But his Bragging Rights album is class. You should check that out by checking out Rob Kelly.
okay.
The very first kind of when he did the Bragging Rights album is, it's pretty dope. Like, but yeah, like Ireland has a lot of talent. You know what I mean? It's just, I think as well, what puts a lot of people off is maybe the accent is a bit harsher to people in the UK and stuff like that. Like, I mean, even for me, I mean, when I listen to people from Cork rapping, I don't appreciate it that much because I don't really like the accent.
Right.
You know, so if I can't do it and I'm in Ireland, I can only imagine what it's like for people in the UK or America or wherever that, like, which is I was always conscious of when I was doing battling, was to try and enunciate so that people could understand me from different, you know, if people in England were going to watch it, that they could understand what I was saying as best I could. You know, I mean, I still have an accent, so people probably wouldn't catch everything, but it's, yeah, I think maybe that has a bit of a hindrance on it as well. But it's the accent probably kills off a bit of the buzz outside Ireland as well.
Yeah, and like, is there anyone else that you'd recommend people should check out over here? Like, maybe artists that we're not aware of?
Who's dope? Little Dialect is pretty dope. Jambo is pretty dope. I think Raw Soul has just dropped a new solo album, so that should be checked out. Just because I'm just trying to think of people that's outside of the battle scene. Who else? Yeah, Costello, pretty dope.
Yeah, I've heard the name. I'm not 100% sure that I've checked his stuff out though.
Yeah, no, Costello is pretty dope as well, so I'd definitely check him out. Nice lad as well.
Nice. No, nice man. And yeah, I mean, I've noticed quite a lot of like drill kind of music coming out of Ireland lately, which, to be honest, I'm not a fan of it pretty
Yeah,
much at all. For
yeah, it was sent to me, and I had to check, and I was just like, it's so like an Irish drill scene, and they're all doing the English thing. So for me, it's like, man, you're just copying England. Get the fuck out of here. But they're doing well. You know, some of the views that some of these guys are getting are fucking astronomical. So it's like more power to them, and do you, like best of luck and all. But I'm just not going to listen to it. It's not my. I mean, I don't even listen to English drill music, to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of that. Same way with trap music. I'm not a fan of trap music. I don't listen to it. But I'm not going to begrudge people from doing it.
no,
Yeah,
I'm with you completely.
Yeah, I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to share. But like all the best sort of thing.
Yeah, to me, it's kind of, if you've heard one track, you've heard them all. They're all very samey, and it's not my cup of tea in the
And for me,
slightest.
it's quite easy to do.
Yeah,
That way. Like, I mean, there's no real intricacy in what they're in the lyrics or anything like that. Like, man go hard, man got this, man got that, but you don't got. What I mean? It's like you can freestyle that sort of shit. Like, so it's like level, skill level wise, it's like, man, don't I don't like some of the beats are quite good, but even still, like it's not my style of music. So all the best to them, but I'm just not a fan.
no, I do agree, man. And like with this next question, it is difficult, and pretty much everyone struggled with it. But what would you say is like? It is subjective. I know it changes all the time, but on the spot at the moment, what's your top 3 favorite albums ever?
Ooh. Oh. Right, I'm gonna say I'll probably get a lot of stick for this because I'm quite old school. I think Tupac All Eyes on Me is one of my favorite albums. I'm not saying it's the best album. I'm saying it's one of my favorite albums. Because I just remember listening to that on repeat for a good 2 years straight. Like
No, of course.
it was just such a dope album, and so that's one of my all-time favorite albums. No, it's not even Tupac's best album, I don't think. Because as it went on, and like Machiavelli and stuff like that, and all, it's probably a better album. But I just loved All Eyes on Me. I don't know what it was about it. I just loved that album. Nirvana Unplugged,
Okay. Yeah.
like, has to get a shout in there. And what else? Third one. See, it's a bit hard because I slept on a lot of the New York rap because when I was growing up, I was very into the West Coast laid back style and the gangster wine and stuff like that and all. So a
Yeah.
lot of the hip hop albums I had growing up was all like something like 220 albums on my wall, and I'd say 99% of them was West Coast hip hop. So it's just kind of hard to pick one of them. Um, and you don't want to use the Illmatics and stuff like that and all because again they're probably, you know, everyone would probably pick that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's to be honest though, this is episode 42 that I've recorded now, I think, and the only albums that have come up more than once so far is Illmatic's come up twice, which I was expecting that to be a go-to. Same
Yeah.
with 36 Chambers. I was expecting that to be
Yeah, I
coming
think
up all
everyone's
the
just trying to
time.
avoid them,
Yeah,
because it's like that. Because obviously, then if you go, oh well, Ready to Die, Illmatic, and so it's like to make it a bit harder, you're trying to not go to the general ones that people would. Distant Relatives was a dope album
yeah,
as well.
yeah. It
Probably, yeah.
was
So probably them three.
nice. Yeah,
Again, if you ask me tomorrow, it'll probably be a complete different tree, but that's just off the top of the head.
nice man. And the third album that's actually come up more than the only album to come up more than twice, or the only artist anyway to come up more than twice, I think, is Linkin Park, which has kind of surprised me actually. Like I like some of their stuff. I've never been massively into them, but they're coming up quite a lot, to be fair, which I wasn't expecting. But
Yeah, that kind of missed me, that era. I think it was so at the kind of hip hop purist stage at that point that I wasn't really even acknowledging that other music exists. But like the Linkin Park and Jay-Z things and stuff kind of would warm me to it, but I've never heard that many Linkin Park tracks.
no,
So,
that's
but yeah,
fair enough.
I'm not surprised because that's one good thing about uh, people who like hip hop. They tend to have quite an eclectic taste. Like, I mean, I'm mad into 80s. I love the 80s. I love soul music. I love classical music. I love uh, I love hardcore. So um, yeah, it's a bit of a stranger because like obviously I was going to try and not pick. Like, I don't want to pick. Oh well, I had this album that was like you know 80s power ballads that I loved. I'm not gonna pick that into my top three of all time. But we do have a more. I think it's something to do with sampling.
Yeah,
As well that because we're into kind of samples and hip hop uses a lot of heavy sampling that you listen to a lot of other music and go, oh, that will do, and then you make a beat out of that and stuff like that and all.
definitely, man. And a question that I've been asking a lot of people, obviously, because it is heavily battle rap related, is 5 dream battle rap opponents or 5 opponents that they want. I know that you're not interested in many battles in that sense, so I'm gonna mix it up a bit and say if you could have performed or made a track or had features from 5 rappers, who would you have had on like one of your projects?
Well, Ilmac would be number one because I
Yeah,
think as far as battle rappers go, he was one of the best actual rappers
yeah,
as well. Nestle
mm,
as well, pretty dope. Um, I mean, the Soros is a GOAT battler, but he wasn't the best rapper. Same with Disaster. So it's a bit hard to differentiate. I mean, they're trying to separate the battler to the artist. That's when they become. I mean, actually, Awkwards is quite dope. I actually like his stuff a bit as well. But I don't know if I'd done a feature with him. Yeah, Marv One makes some dope music. Uh,
yeah,
it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Um, Shotty Horror, I suppose, as well. Because again, he has that kind of um, not exclusively hip hop and his hooks and all are quite kind of indie Oasis-y style kind of music, which I love that he doesn't just do straight hip hop. So I'd love to do a track with him and that sort of stuff as well. Uh, who
yeah.
else would be the last? Who would be the last? Who would be the last? I couldn't think before. Not fifth. It would maybe Matt Hoffa actually. I think Matt Hoffa's some of his tracks are, even though it's complete gangster rap, and I'd probably sound like a tick on it. I think a Matt Hoffa verse would have went down well as well.
Yeah, yeah, no, I like that. I do find Math's music a bit hit and miss, if I'm honest. Some of it's good and some of it's not for me whatsoever. But he's,
Yeah, no, I understand that. That's really good because again, I probably haven't even heard full albums of everyone other than Immaculate. So, but I have heard some Matt Hoffa verses that were fucking dope, and I've heard like Nestle track that I thought was really good. Oh, do you know who else actually? I'm going to replace Awkwards, and this is going to sound fucking weird as well. Cheddar Cheese
yeah,
from
okay.
KOTD. I like his quirkiness and his different style to he's an artist as opposed to a rapper, and that's kind of what always Class A's were trying to, maybe unsuccessfully, I don't know, but we are always trying to just make music as opposed to just rap. So
Yeah.
Cheddar Cheese is probably up there actually instead of Awkwards. Sorry.
No, I like that. I like how Cheddar Cheese embraces the geekiness of it all, and yeah, yeah, I do like some of his music. So I'm not. I mean, this probably sounds bad because he's one of the original figures, but I'm just not a fan of Awkwards at all. I hated his battles. I don't like it much of his music, and I just think he comes across like a bit of a prick as well. So
Do
I've
you know what?
just never...
I understand that. I do understand that. Like, I mean, the reason I said that is because I did hear a track before that he made, and his verse was dope on it. And because I never really listened to a lot of battlers' music, so that's why it was a bit of a struggle. I'm basically just naming people who I've heard that, I heard a dope verse from him, so we'll put him in. But I think Cheddar Cheese would. Yeah, but yeah, a lot of people said that about awkward. I mean, I actually remember he got on to me about coming over, but he was quoting fucking lottery numbers, like, and I'm like, oh, no, man, no. You want to come over here, I'm not going to accommodate you coming over here and paying for your bleeding stain or just because you want to come over. Like, if you want to come over, meet me halfway. But you seem to be a bit, oh, we want X amount of money and we have to be here this week. It has to be on this weekend and it has to be on. And they go, yeah, miss me with that shit. Like,
Yeah.
look.
Yeah, he
But,
strikes me as the type to be a bit like that as well. And I've never been a big fan of him anyway. So for me, it just doesn't warrant it. But yeah, I just feel like he's always come across as a bit of a prick as well. So just never really given him the chance. But
well,
like,
no, I'm glad I took him off my list.
yeah, no, I agree, man, and definitely to replace him with Cheddar as well. I like that. But yeah, it's one of the main aims for me with this podcast is like long term. So once I've kind of got a decent amount of subscribers and enough people to check it out, I want to start doing weekly news feeds on like reviews and things like that on battlers' music, just because I think battlers all over the world are making great music, and it's often, well, more times than not, it's overlooked and people don't actually check it. Like back in the day, I was always checking out anyone on Don't Flop pre kind of 2013. They were introduced to a battle and they were plugging their mixtape before they start the battle kind of thing, and I was always listening to it. Whereas now you never see anybody doing that. Like, and I just feel like battlers' music gets overlooked all the time, and the main aim is to kind of promote.
Well,
that.
I think they just separate it now, don't they? It's just separated now. It's like they have the battle rap fans and they have their music fans. I mean, a lot of it is kind of intertwined where battle fans will. But I think it's quite separate. I mean, like a lot of our music fans never watched any of my battles, but a lot of people who watch my battles weren't fans of the music either. So I think it's just because of different genres. Like, you're not going to, just because I'm a fan of your battle doesn't mean I have to go check your music out and like it.
No,
I think it's good. I think it's
do
good
agree.
to be separated a little bit. Like it's like they're two separate entities. Like, and even because, like, I mean, your ability to rap in a battle doesn't show how good you would be on a track either, because it's so different. Like, obviously one's on beat, so there's a timing, and then when you're rapping off beat, you can go. You're not actually rapping to an actual structure. And so it's more palatable to some people that way, and then some people are just happy with just listen to people on beats. I wouldn't force that issue on any. I wouldn't tell people, oh yeah, you like me music, or you like me battles, check out me music, or you like me music, check out me battles. I never done that myself. It was like people going to me saying, like, your battles. I was like, thanks very much. If you like your music, thanks very much. I wasn't, although I'm shit at plugging myself anyway, so maybe I'm just talking show here.
No, I see what you mean, but I just feel that there is a lot of hip hop fans that are going to battle rap events that potentially aren't checking the music out, and I just think there's never been a platform kind of promoting it more. So I'm hoping to get that started pretty soon. But apart from that, mate, that is most of the questions done. I've been finishing the show off with 3 very random questions, but do you have a favourite sports team?
Aston Villa.
Okay.
Villa till I die.
Nice. Back in the do you reckon they'll well, if the season does continue, of course, but do you think they'll stay up?
Nope.
You reckon
although I'm a fan, I'm also a realist. No, I don't. Because I mean, we've been playing very well and not getting results. So I don't see how that might change after. I think we're in the championship for quite a while. That we've become a championship side, as much as I hate to say it. So,
Right.
you know, I mean, obviously I'd love, and this is going to sound like a bit of a cop-out, but I almost prefer the championship.
Okay.
Because, you know, as a fan, like, it's heartbreaking going into every game assuming they're going to lose. You know that way. Whereas when you're in the championship, you have some kind of optimism going into matches, and it's now I know how like Liverpool and, you know, Man City fans feel. You know, that sort of way when they're going into games expecting
Yeah.
to win. I haven't had that feeling for a very long time until we go into the championship. So, and again, the championship, the standard of football in the championship is amazing. Like, you know, when Villa are in there and you're watching the highlights after match of the day, and they're saying like the quality of football in the championship as well is it's amazing. So
Oh,
I,
definitely.
I, I became a championship fan through being an Aston Villa fan as well. So I think if we do stay up, happy days. But if we don't, I won't be too disappointed by it, because, you know, I actually just love watching the championship. So, um, but I don't think we'll stay up.
No, okay, I understand that, and I mean, I think, you know, well, I pretty much know, in fact, but if Villa do get relegated, I mean, it's got to be goodbye for Jack Grealish, surely.
Yeah, yeah. But again, what I just hope that he doesn't go to Spurs, because they tried to absolutely railroad us when we were in administration and completely undercut the price, which was a bit scummy.
Yeah,
It was using our kind of hard luck to capitalise for themselves, which I thought was a bit of a arsehole thing to do. So, I mean, I don't care. He is going to go. All I hope is that we get what he's worth and he's successful. I wouldn't begrudge him at all. He's done, like, he's been our best player for the past couple of seasons. He plays, you know, through his skin for us. So he deserves some sort of credentials when he's retired. He can say, "Well, I've won this and I've won that," because he's good enough too. And he's not going to get it with Aston Villa. So I understand he was loyal, and, you know, because of that, I wish him all the best. I know we are going to sell him, but even if we stay up, I think he's gone. But I just hope we don't get fucked over in the process.
yeah, no, definitely, and I despise Tottenham anyway, so I do hope he doesn't go there, especially now Mourinho's there as well. But
Well, I
yeah,
liked him when Pochettino was there. I
I
just
like
don't like him.
Pochettino, but
Yeah, I just don't like their board. You know, the way they're so fucking heartless. And even with this furlough and their staff and all, it's kind of showing of what the actual club's values or lack of is all about. So I'm not a huge fan of Spurs now. So yeah, fuck Spurs. Fuck
yeah, no, I'm with you there. My old man's a Spurs fan, so I despise him. But
them.
yeah,
My dad's Newcastle.
okay. Yeah, no, that's fair. I feel for Newcastle fans, to be honest. They've had a tough time of it with Mike Ashley there and that. So it's
Well, I've enjoyed slagging him over it.
yeah,
But apart from me dad being a Newcastle fan, I would like to see them get sold, and, you know, because they're a great club and their fans are amazing.
yeah, they
You
are.
know, so they kind of deserve to be better treated than they are by their chairman. So with a bit of luck, they get sold and they can kind of make a good go of being a deal. Because again, they're a top club. They shouldn't be struggling and getting relegated, kind of like Aston Villa. But I think they're maybe a bigger club than Aston Villa, so they deserve to have some shot at success again.
No, definitely. But again, Villa are a massive club as well, man. I think they're. I don't know. I just think maybe their investment was wrong in the summer. I think they overspent on average players for me. Like Tyrone Mings, I think was a great signing. Wesley was a good signing. Unfortunately, got injured pretty early on, but
Well, I wasn't a fan of Wesley, I have to say. From what I've seen of him, he wasn't there. But again, the thing that kind of I forgive them with is that when you're coming up from the championship, you're not going to get Neymar. You know what I mean? You're not going to get that quality of player. You kind of have to, um, you know, you have to kind of pick the best of what's available that will actually sign for you. So you're quite limited on who you're going to buy.
yeah,
Um,
I do agree. But then I also feel like signing Jota from Birmingham was just done because he was coming from Birmingham, I think, and like
he didn't have to move house.
yeah, and Matty Target is
But he's doing well. He's doing well for us. He's not a trailblazer. He's not going to win player of the season. But he's doing, for the most part, okay. From what I watched, again, him and Engels. Like, I don't really have too much complaints about who we bought. I think Wesley wasn't a great boy, but again, it's every transfer is a risk, because we got the guy Samara from for 10 million, and he seems to be looking like he was such a good boy. But then you spend 40 million on a player, and he comes over and he's a stock and a shy. So it's everything. And Gavin McCain, we got him for 2.5 million, and if we sold him now, you probably get 30 or 40 million for him. You know, so I've no problem with who they've bought, because I understand that it's hard to attract players when you're coming up from the championship and your bookies' favourite to go back down. So, you know, you do have to operate within that kind of small scope of people that would be interested. So, but again, they weren't all great signings, but I think you just take a shot in the dark with that sort of stuff, and you're coming back up in the championship and hope they do well. That's the best you can do.
Yeah, no, definitely. But yeah, I'm a Liverpool fan myself, and I've seen over the last couple of days that we're linked with a £55 million move for Grealish. So
I'd like him to go to Liverpool. I think he'd settle well in that. Your style suits him.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't have no problems with going to Liverpool, no problems with going to United or City or Chelsea. I just don't want him to go to Spurs anywhere. How are you feeling about the potential of the not coming back, the restarting the season next season, or just cancelling it out? Or are you nervous?
Very. I mean, I've still not seen us win the league. People asked me last season when we were kind of still fighting for the league and just going into the Champions League final, which would I prefer to win? And it's the league every time for me. Like, I've seen us win the Champions League. I've not seen us win the league. And
I think every Liverpool fan says that.
Yeah.
Every Liverpool fan would say that. Like, even me as a neutral, I would rather see us win the league than the Champions League. Because in fairness, like, I mean, I've kind of always been an ABL growing up, because I thought Liverpool fans were just so, like, they're historians. I used to hate that. And I used to always like Man United, because as a neutral, they're winning everything. They're the best team, so you have to give props. But it's now kind of reversed, whereas you guys are kind of, you know, in the now, and United fans are going, "Oh, come back to me when you have 22." You know what I mean? It's like, it's so now I don't like Man United and I like Liverpool.
Yeah, I understand that, and I know, like, I'm the first to admit that 95% of Liverpool fans are fucking unbearable as well. So I understand why most people hate us. But yeah, I mean, I was desperate to see us win it, and now it looks like it might not happen. And I don't know how I feel about them ending the season and just handing us the title either, because of, again, the stick that we get from United and Arsenal fans and whatever. But
and it taints it as well, doesn't it? It taints the I mean, it's like me as well. If they cancel the league and says, right, we're just going to restart this season, next season, I'd be a bit pissed off, because, like, if we're going to get relegated, I'd rather play the games and get relegated, you know. And even if it means that we have to stay up and do it all again, I'd rather play it out, because if we're going to stay up, I'd rather be in there next season because we merited it. And if we're getting relegated, I'd rather be relegated because we merited being relegated. You know, I think they definitely should finish off the league. But again,
agreed.
It's just a bit. I don't know how they're going to do it. Like, no matter what way. I mean, I was saying it to me. I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, and I was saying the fairest thing to do would be to cancel it, because that way nobody's happy. Whereas if you start doing it in different ways, you're going to get some people to be happy and some people won't. Like, you can't please everybody, so please nobody, and just cancel it.
Yeah.
Because, as I said, like, as a Villa fan, the people saying, "Oh, you'd be delighted." I'm like, no, most football fans would prefer to, you know, stay up on merit or go down on merit. They wouldn't rather go, "Oh, you dodged the bullet there, haha." I think very, very, very few people would think that way.
Definitely.
But again,
like,
if
with Liverpool, like, there's just, it takes the pride out of it and takes the sense of achievement out of it if we're just kind of handed the title with. I know there's not many games left, and in my opinion, I think we have already won it, but it's still just the sense that I mean, we've been in that position before where I thought we'd won the title and then Steven
Yeah,
Gerrard
no,
slips against
it's
Chelsea and
it's a banker
Palace.
phrase at this stage, though. I can't see Man City winning the next 8 games and you was losing the next 8 games.
No,
So it is a banker, but again, as you're saying, you'd rather play it out and then have Van Dijk lift the trophy in front of 60,000 people and have your parades and all that. Because I mean, even if he handed it over to us tomorrow, you couldn't even have a parade to
no,
celebrate it.
no.
So yeah, hopefully hopefully they do come up with some idea that they can play out the rest of the season, and you know, you know. But again, it's just a bit. How long are they going to hold off? That's the thing. If it goes into like May and then it goes into June, it's going to push the next season back so far. Will they? Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Definitely, yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping the decision comes soon because it's killing me at the moment, to be honest. But
Yeah.
like, in terms of yourself, there, if you could pick any destination in the world for your next like holiday or trip abroad or whatever, where do you want to go the most?
Again, as a bit of a homebody, I've and the missus is a bit of a globetrotter, so we're completely chalk and cheese in that regard. But I think what we were saying was we might obviously miss out this year, so maybe next year go to Las Vegas. I've never
Okay.
been. She's been before. She loves it. Um, I've been to New York. And again, New York was dope. But yeah, but maybe it's Las Vegas. It's probably cliche, but I would like to go over there just to kind of experience it.
Yeah, of
I actually
course.
went to Amsterdam for the first time in January, and I
Okay.
loved it. I loved Amsterdam. I'd love to go back there as well. Like I will be going back to Amsterdam, and not even for the weed, just for
How
I've never
cool the
been to
place is,
somewhere
yeah.
that's it's so laid back. Like I mean, even when I've gone over to London to do battles, you're kind of always on the edge that they're going to get fucking stabbed or something, or somebody's going to start something, or you know what I mean. There's that kind of checking your pockets, make sure your wallet is there. So when I went over to Amsterdam, it was just so laid back. Even walking through with like hundreds of people walking past, and it was just I just loved being in Amsterdam. So if I hadn't went there, that would be my answer. But because I've been there, Las Vegas would be because I haven't been.
Yeah, man. I've been to Amsterdam probably about 20 times now, I think. I tried to live there, so I spent about 2 months there and it was amazing, but it was just too expensive, unfortunately. But like I lived in Germany for a few years and it was about a 3 hour train journey to Amsterdam, so I used to go as often as possible. And I mean the fact that weed's legal there is a bonus, don't get me wrong, but apart from that, the city's just incredible as a whole, man. I love it there. It's such a great place. But
Yeah, and it's so laid back. That's what I love about the place that you just walk around and it's just it's like there's just something in the air that's just everyone is quite placid and you know what I mean. It's just a good spot to be in, and I just like the architecture. Like we done the trip on the boat, the kind of look at some of the history of the place and all. It's a really cool place. So I'm definitely
yeah,
going to head back there. Um,
definitely. Yeah, it's amazing, man. But and would you say Amsterdam's your favourite place you've been then?
yeah, yeah, I've
Yeah.
been there. Like again, I haven't been like I mean, New York was pretty dope. Um, and I ended up winning 20 quid in a rap battle against some gangster, which was pretty
Nice.
cool.
Yeah, cool.
Um, that was because what happened was I was there about maybe 3 or 4 days, and I said to my uncle because I was staying in my uncle's house. He was living in Queens, so I was like, right, I need weed, and he was like, well, I don't smoke, I don't know. So I looked at the window, and outside the Dunkin' Donuts there was like a group of lads, probably about 20 lads. So I was like, I'll just ask them, like, and he's like, oh, you get shot over here, you can't just fucking walk over. I was like, that'd be grand. So I went over and got a bag of weed, whatever that. Nearly started a gang war because one guy gave it to me and the other fella walked off to get it. And he came back saying, here it is. I was like, oh, you already got it. He's like, who gave it to you? Blah, blah, blah. So it was nearly a war. I was going to backing my way across the road. It's like $20 worth of weed in your hand because these two lads were about to have a fight. And but then there was one of the guys that was there. that lived on my uncle's thing, and I ended up to the roof, and he came up to the roof, and he had a joint, and I was telling him that I was a rapper and stuff like that. Like, so the next time I went over to get some, the guy that had gave it to me last time was like, "Oh, I'll battle you," and if like I was basically getting $20 worth, and he was like, "Double or quits, so I'll give it to you for free if you win, and if you don't, if I win, it's 40 quid." And I was like, "Yeah, cool, walk away." So literally one line, like he went first, and then one line because he had dreadlocks, so I was like, "What's it offering to battle me, no competitor, especially when I stand there looking like the predator." I literally just said that, and then everyone just kind of erupted, and I got me free weed. So that was my New York story.
Happy
But,
days, man. I like that.
yeah,
That's amazing.
it was quite risky because I thought I was going to get shot. Like,
Yeah.
because now yeah, when you're a newbie and you're over here for the first time and you just assume everybody has a gun, like, well,
Yeah.
I'm a bit of an idiot. I'll say stuff and then worry about the consequences later. Like I've kind of always been like that. But I said it, and then everyone laughed, and I got me weed. And I was actually friends with them all by the time I left. I went over 2 weeks, and then I was kind of became mates with them, and I was smoking weed with them over there and stuff like that and all. So yeah, I loved New York, and I probably would go back there as well. But probably the favorite place I've been is definitely Amsterdam.
No, that's amazing story, man. I like that. And the final question, which is it's caused a bit of controversy, to be honest, but in your opinion, what is the go-to snack or the go-to munches?
Oh, so it depends because I'm not a huge sweet eater, but when I do, say I have a joint and I go to the munch cabinet, I'll eat everything in the fucking cabinet. So I don't really. I, what would be my favorite if I could only eat one thing? Is sweet or savory, or does it matter?
You could go for one of each.
Oh, one of each. Oh, okay. Well, sweets, I'd probably go with Tesco's. Used to make this chocolate donut, and it was like 5 in it for like €1, and the chocolate in it was real cheap and all, but they were fucking delicious.
Yeah,
Like,
I know
and they
the
don't make
ones you
them.
mean.
Yeah, they have tasted. They're so good. Like, and they don't do them over here anymore. So if I could live off one, sweet, it would probably be them, because I could literally eat a bag of them and want more. One bag wouldn't be enough. So yeah, so chocolate donuts from Tesco's. And savory, the missus does a pasta bake that's like amazing. I could literally eat that every day for me dinner. So yeah, probably them too.
Nice. No, I like that, man. That's good answers. I've had some stinkers down the episodes now, to be fair, but no, I like that. But anyway, Redzer, man, it has been amazing to get you on. I really appreciate you taking the time to come on and have a chat and stuff. But is there anything that you wanted plugged in, like the description box to the video when I upload it? Any
No,
Bandcamp pages or anything like that?
no. I mean, there's a Class A's YouTube page, for terror maybe, or terrorists page or something like that. But I don't promote it, and I don't plug it anymore. I don't do it anymore. So if you want to put the Class A's YouTube on it, maybe, or nothing, it's quite easy.
Cool, will do, man. But no, mate, I really appreciate you coming on, and it's been amazing to talk to you anyway. But hopefully get to chop it up in the near future, and hopefully at a Rappers Full event, man.
Yeah. Well, I was working. The reason I wasn't at the Broken Resolutions is because of work, but I'm not in that place anymore. So hopefully I'll be able to get to a few more events
Nice.
in the future. So if you're there, and I'm there, I'll buy you a pint.
Definitely, man. I look forward to it. But yeah, thank you for your time anyway, mate, and stay safe over there.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me on, and all the best with the podcast. And
Thank you very much,
yeah,
man.
cheers for having me.
No
All the
worries,
best.
mate. Appreciate it. Take care, man.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Bye bye.